Like, this is all detail stuff. Small little detail stuff that's just gonna take its time to do. What's up, everybody? It is another vlog, and I am going to be changing up my vlogs here soon enough. I'm gonna change up the style, and I'm gonna do something different than what I've been doing, which is building this freaking tiny house for the last year. But you know what? We are on the last week. I've got 1 week left, or not even, actually. By the time this video comes out, I'll have less than a week, because we, my father and I, and whoever else helps me, hopefully one of my childhood friends, are moving this tiny house the end of the week. I don't know, Friday, Saturday, one of those days. But I have to get the whole thing prepped, ready to go. So I'm moving the tiny house about 160 miles from where I'm sitting right now. Actually, a little bit further, about 180 miles from where I'm standing right now. I need to come back down here because I need to clean up this entire shop space, because I got to be out of here by the end of the month. Now, this is going to be a quick vlog. It's just going to be giving you guys updates on things, and I'm going to throw some pictures in there for everybody, because I don't really have the time, honestly. And I wasn't even gonna do a vlog. I've done a updated tiny house situation this whole time. I might as well do this one for you now. My goal was to get the inside done to the point where I can finish all the detail work up on the property. I am like right there. We're gonna step inside and show you guys that. But before I do that, I didn't record any of what I'm about to just talk about right now, because we were just flying. I had Jude, shout out to you, buddy, come down to the shop. I forget what day it was. He is the owner of Nirvana Upfitters. He came down and he helped my dad and I put the solar panels on the roof. We put 8 solar panels up on the roof and wired it all in like under 4 hours. We put the S5 clamps on there. I believe I used the S5N. I believe. There's different styles for different seams or standing seam roofs. There are 0 roof penetrations, 3 S5 clips per panel per side. So there's actually 6 clamps on each panel, which means 8 panels, that's what, 36 clamps I think I ordered of the PV kit. Jude up on the scaffolding, me down on ground floor because I'm scared of heights, and my dad was up on the roof, and we kind of just maneuvered it and went kind of really well. And I got a little bit of phone footage. A lot of it was kind of figuring out just a bunch of different things mathematically, and whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's up there. Those are the PV kit. From what I've read and what I've seen, it is rated for like 200-mile-an-hour winds. By the way that those things are clamped on there, that roof is coming off before the clips off of the standing seam are coming off. I can promise you that much. I have started ordering a bunch of stuff that I want for my house, and I've been keeping a little area for that. All right, let's go inside. I got to clean all this up, but that's going to happen after I move the tiny. Luckily, I've got about 5 days, give or take. Put this on, little doorknob action, keypad, fingerprint. Painted the door black for everybody in my last vlog that gave input on what I should paint it. I appreciate it. I end up going black, as you just saw. Don't know if I showed you guys this. 58-gallon diesel tank. 58-gallon diesel tank. Why am I putting a diesel tank on the front of my tiny house? Because my heater is fueled by diesel. Some people use propane. I went with diesel because I'm using, the best way to put it is like an S-bar heater on steroids. Also Webasto heater, but this is a bigger, burlier heater, and it's combined with the Van Life Tech Radiant floor heating system, and it also does my hot water on demand. So I have continuous hot water, all fueled by diesel, 12-volt power. So it takes, I think when it's on full tilt, like we're talking forced air, the radiated floor heating, and the hot water running all at once, I believe it's like 6 amps of power, which is next to nothing, and it sips that diesel tank. If I have my heater on full tilt, like I just said, 24 hours a day in the wintertime, then I burn roughly 1 gallon for every 24 hours. If you do the math on that, that tank should last me almost 2 months on full tilt. So my guess is I'll probably have to fill up this tank probably about 3 times over the winter, but we're gonna find out when I go and live at my tiny house in the state of Maine. Now we're gonna go in, okay. Whew. Woosah. Woosah. I've got the caulking gun out here because I'm about to put up eventually. Like, this is all detail stuff. Small little detail stuff that's just going to take its time to do. Part of the whole scheme of this in like doing a tiny house is you get to design it yourself, right? You get to like have fun doing this because it's your house. Same thing with a van. When people do vans, it's the same thing. Like, you get to have fun and design it and pick out the colors. And I'm moving the cushion because I'm about to bring my bed down. So give me a second while I put my bed down. Now I think I showed the mattress already on the bed, yay. But I got a comforter, yay. I love the color orange. It's an orange. I don't know if the camera is actually showing an orange, but it's a burnt orange. I actually have matching towels for the bathroom that are also burnt orange. And I'm sorry, but orange and gray go really well together, or like a burnt orange, like an October orange. I love fall colors, so that kind of reminds me of that. It's also a warm feeling. Anyways, we finished all the tiling in the bathroom. So all of the walls are all tiled up. Finally, that took forever. I actually took a photo of it like midway through, and I was like, this looks like a prison cell. And it kind of does look like a prison cell. However, these kind of look like cinder blocks, which kind of go with the whole vibe of loft. I will have a washer dryer combination right here. Can't see it, but I just did all of the water. I redid all of the water. Everything's plumbed up. Everything's ready to go. I put my water fill on the outside. I put the fan on the outside as well. That sucks air out, like, you know, any type of condensation or anything like that. You need to do that. It's a 12-volt fan. These are here because I just put the flooring in. There's a, if you can see it, there's a lip right here. This whole thing is a 1-inch lip. So I'm gonna have a glass partition right here that's gonna come out to about right there. Okay, and that's gonna be the walk into the shower. But that's like, this whole thing is gonna be like a wet room back here. And then toilet is gonna sit right here. That blue tape is actually where my studs are, because I need to drill a hole to go through the wall for the toilet. I need to make sure that I'm not gonna hit any studs. So I just wanted to mark the studs. Last thing I gotta do in here is I'm gonna put a piece of aluminum. Aluminum is great because aluminum doesn't rust. And I'm going to actually paint it black. If I had the money, I would powder coat it. It's gonna have a nice matte finish to it. So this whole section is gonna be a beautiful like black with a, you know, to match the black shower pan, black shelves. Keep that overnight, and that is gonna be nice and beautiful by the morning. And then I'll put a bead of caulking around that so it's all sealed up watertight. Again, after that, it's just exterior stuff. I gotta drill like a hole for Starlink. I've gotta put my Starlink pole up. I gotta mount that and get that ready. And I gotta do little things. I gotta do this. I have a light going in right here. There's gonna be a fun little light. And this is the part that sucks because it's the last 10% of a build. I've always talked about this, that like the first 10% and the last 10% of any project or any build or any van build or any tiny house build that you're doing absolutely suck. Oh, by the way, this is the glass wall. My ADD is kicking in. The last 10% and the first 10%. The first 10% because it just feels like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, this is never ending. It's overwhelming. Design ideas are being thrown all over the place. You're kind of just looking at this and you're like, what did I get myself into? That's the first 10%. And you're like, oh my goodness. The last 10% is like, it takes 45 minutes to do a small little thing and you feel like you got nothing done throughout the day and you're just racing against time. You just want the damn thing done. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice that I've learned, and I'm actually kind of doing it. That last 10%, that last little bit of detail, stop. Stop doing it, because you know what? You can actually live, or you can walk away from the project that you're doing just for a little bit. Take your time on that last 10%. There's a lot of the detail stuff that I'm going to be doing up on the property. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna wait. I got a couple trips planned that I need to do that you guys will all come on those trips with me because they're all work stuff. But then I'm gonna come back with a fresh mind in a way for me to be like, okay, now that my house is on property, I can now build the deck that I want to build, have the fire pit that I want to do all the details on the inside. I can have my juices flowing creativity wise. Same thing that goes with that last 10% for anybody else doing a van build or whatever, maybe a tiny house build or container home build, whatever you're doing. Just think about that. Walk away from it for just for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. Go do something that kind of gets you away from what you've been working on for, maybe it's been 3 months, maybe it's been 2 months, maybe it's been a year like me. A very, very quick vlog for everybody. I'm still gonna do my tours because I love my tours. Shout out to Kyle that did my last van tour for me. He is now hired as a videographer that is going to be doing more tours for me. Not all of them, don't worry, I will still do a lot more of the tours. And stay tuned, because once I move into this guy right here, I am actually starting a podcast that I've been dying to start for the last 6 to 8 months. I've got it all mapped out on how I want to do it, topics I want to talk about. Just wait until you guys see what I'm going to do. I will see you guys next time. I am done. By the way, I recorded all of this Sunday at, that's 10:50. So I'm exhausted. I'm going to go home and I'm gonna edit this. It's almost 11 o'clock. It takes me a half hour to get home. Go home, edit this, sleep for about 6 hours, get back down here. Glacier's exhausted. Look at this poor girl right here. I'll see you guys later.
I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night, if I can make it, if I